1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7
Turn back the
o'clock,
clock to the 1950s, a time of peace and prosperity. Elvis Presley and hula hoops, poodle skirts and saddle shoes. The fads came and went, while other changes would endure. The invention of color TV, the desegregation of schools, the birth of suburbs. During this era, a group of local men wanted to change their corner of the world to provide a home for seniors who were often leaving the Cedar Valley to find care.
Well, you know, 50 years ago, there weren't many choices.
Therefore, then, the founding pioneers joined together and said, that's a travesty. Certainly these people need to be within the community and stay within their support structure, so we need to band together and do something about it.
The group represented 7 Lutheran churches. In less than 3 years, they raised $350,000 from the congregations and built a 3-wing unit. The Cedar Falls Lutheran Home opened its doors June 1st, 1958 on a mission, Christian caring, enhancing lives through a commitment to individualized care in a home empowered by God's love.
Very basic, forthright, honest, and very faith-based, which is core for the Cedar Falls Lutheran Home.
50 years later, much has changed on campus, except the mission. It remains the driving force, the higher calling for everyone on staff, and many times the reason they stay.
People here really care, and they don't mind showing it. And you meet a smile going down the aisles, and you know, it's contagious.
They act like they really want to be here, and they're proud to be here.
Even then, when there is stress and hard days, you know, we just pull together as a team, the staff does, and we just try to make the best of it.
We are family. I got all my sisters with me.
Everybody's close. I mean, there's so many good people here.
I wake up every morning and I love coming here.
My residents, they're like family.
Elmer Kowalty noticed the difference on his first visit, and so did his son, Scott.
It was welcoming, warm, really quite reasonable for what these places can cost. And it was all set up and easy, and they just said, you've got a place right now, and he moved right in.
The change could have been difficult for a 90-year-old who had lost his wife of 27 years and moved out of the home they'd shared, but it wasn't.
And he never felt like, oh, why don't you come and visit me more, because he had so many friends here. In fact, there were times I came to visit him, he didn't have time. He said, I've got a lot of things to do here, would you mind coming back? Which was great. I thought, this is the way it ought to be, because he felt so comfortable here.
Elmer spent 2 years in independent living and 2 years in assisted living before his final 1.5 years in nursing care. His family says the Cedar Falls Lutheran Home made each transition easy.
When you get that age, it's very hard to change your surroundings completely, because everything is a little unfamiliar all the time anyway. So it stayed familiar and yet more supportive. So it just moved from one level of familiarity to another degree of support. And that was exactly what he needed.
That continuum of care developed over the years in response to community needs. Independent living services began in 1960 with construction of the Scene Around apartments. And the chapel was built in 1968 to serve the spiritual needs of residents, half of whom today are not Lutheran.
So I just delight in being able to serve the sacrament to Baptists, Catholics, Methodists, Presbyterians, and it's just a great, I think it's kind of a model of what the church is meant to be.
Progress continued in the 70s and 80s. The Park Ridge fourplex is open, a new dining room debuted, residential and dementia wings were built, and more Scene Around apartments were added. In 1995, the new Glen Meadows Apartments offered seniors modern amenities to complement their active lifestyles. Joe Preece immediately moved over from Park Ridge.
It was funny, those moving days. We had that maintenance crew moving every which way and up and down, and I didn't get this, I should have had this. Don't worry about it, we'll get it for you. And they did.
More moves occurred in 2007 when 2 new areas opened their doors, the Bryle Assisted Living Apartments and Glen Arbor Independent Living Apartments, the first finished phase of an ambitious plan labeled an enduring commitment.
So it is an exciting time because you're actually creating a new chapter in history.
Next to unfold will be Main Street. the final missing link in the community under one roof concept. Plans call for a new main entrance, wellness center, general store, sidewalk cafe, and salon spa. The goal is completion in 2009.
And I keep thinking of what it will be, and I'm so anxious to get going with that. I think that Main Street idea is just fabulous, and I think anybody who's around and knowing that this is what's going to happen are excited about it.
And I really believe that the more people sense not only the need but the beautiful vision that has been developed for the future of the Cedar Falls Lutheran Home, they will want to make that happen as soon as possible.
We look ahead with anticipation and look back with pride as we celebrate this family reunion. 50 years of Christian caring, compassion, and community at Cedar Falls Lutheran Home.